And for those of you who don't know, Louisa lost her mother very unexpectedly. I mean, she'd been sick, but she had come home. She lost her mother this weekend, and she had her birthday this weekend. So kind of a tough weekend for her. We have flowers headed her way for the funeral. And we also, as a team, sent flowers to Blady for her birthday and being our rocking executive assistant. So just wanted to give those team updates. Kind of somber, but also want to celebrate, Blady and Louisa and Jennifer's birthday. I want to welcome a new member onto the line. We have Tom Morgan on the line, who is new to the team. And then also wanted to, there's something I was going to say about, Maeva. Maeva is doing the product call tomorrow morning. You guys feel free to jump in if I forget something. Maeva we have such a powerful team of just smart whippersnappers in the clinical arena. And so Maeva is stepping out of her comfort zone, and she's actually leading the global exec team product call tomorrow. I have told the GET team that we have an abundance of very knowledgeable people about the product. And if any of you are interested and willing and want to stand up and run and support the product call for the global exec team any given week, please feel free to jump in. I know that some of the other teams aren't nearly as heavy with that knowledge as we are. So feel free. If you want to grow and you want to stretch, and you have an incredible story to tell, every single one of you guys, you don't have to have a clinical background to lead the product call. Just have to be a leader, and we're all leaders. If you're on the line, you're a leader. Okay. So I'm going to pause. Any new, any shout outs, any recognition, anything anybody wants to give before we roll up our sleeves and talk money?
Hey, Melissa, sorry, this is new. Quick
Yes.
questions. Is this you were recorded because James, his aunt, had an emergency that his aunt is going to an emergency for some kind of chest pain. So I was like, we'll make sure it recorded so he can listen to it. He had something short notice that came up, but I said that we'll be praying for her.
Yes, we are recording. Great question. We are recording. Somebody might just have to remind me to post the recording later.
I just wanted to check, did Maeva hit director?
Maeva, she's on the line.
I had to pull over because I'm driving. No, I didn't. But Dominique got, she had one person, and the other person that wanted to come in wanted to wait for 2 weeks. So this won't be Crystal. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. So
that's all right. That is A-okay, as long as you've got your eye on the prize and you're moving forward, girlfriend. I was pushing for executive Crystal director myself and missed it. So, but we all still have the Crystal executive race to go for, even if you're already executive. Jennifer, you may already be executive, but we can still race for that executive reset with the reset bonus. All of us can, and some of us put money in the pot. So we're competing. You guys remember that?
Yes.
There's some money. I can't even remember. Maybe Blady can tally it up for us, and maybe that'll give you guys a little extra motivation if you put money in the pot. Because my goal is still to crush Crystal Executive. Okay. Any other questions, comments, concerns before we dive into comp?
Thank you.
we have Tom on the line, and I don't know who's the iPhone. I'm wondering if that's one of our newbies on the line. Tom, would you mind just for a quick second introducing yourself? Maybe just let us know where you're from and what piqued your curiosity about getting into isogenics in the business.
I'm Tom Morgan. I live in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, and I've been on layoff due to COVID-19 for the last 6 weeks. And then Kristen had something on her LinkedIn page about this, and that got me interested.
Yay! Tom, you know what's incredible is like, not only is this an opportunity for you to change your circumstances, but what's really cool about this is that you get to pave it forward and offer this to others as well that are in your shoes. And that's just exciting. So we're glad to have you.
I'd like to do what you said, fire my boss one of these days.
Yeah, it's pretty invigorating. You'll get to hear the story tomorrow if you sit on our call. So Kristen Arir, who enrolled you, she and I used to work together. She was one of my MSLs. So she got to witness me walking away. Awesome. Now we have, somebody's on his iPhone. I'm not sure who it is. Do you mind revealing yourself so we know who's on the line? Okay. Oh, Jenna, there you are.
Again now.
Do you mind introducing yourself and letting us know where everybody, I already know that fun smile, but everybody doesn't know you. So do you mind introducing
Oh, okay. Yeah, my name is Ogena. I'm from Florida. I'm a practicing pharmacy, working for CVS Pharmacy.
Awesome. So we're elated. We're so excited to have you, and just making the decision now and taking the circumstances. I know you were working the weekend shift this weekend.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
He had his mask on and he was on a Zoom at work filling prescriptions with our men's call with Murray Miller. So super dedicated. We're so excited to have you as a partner. I know New found you on LinkedIn as well. So you should feel right at home. Let's see, we've got Kristen Arir up in, who's a pharmacist here on the line. You have Maeva Clark, who is a doctorate. She's a respiratory therapist, but also has her doctorate in, I always screw it up. It's not in respiratory therapy. What's your doctorate in, Maeva? And she's maybe on call with her students tonight, listening in. What's your doctorate in, Maeva?
I have a dual PhD, higher education. Can you hear me?
Yes, higher education.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Higher education and leadership and administration.
Got it. Higher education. Got it. Okay. So, all right. And you'll find there's a lot of pharmacists here in this community, and a lot of just really smart people. We're excited to have you. Okay. So guys, I get a ton of questions about comp. So I love that we have some new people on the line, because I'm going to go all the way back to the basics. What I really want to do today is cast a vision for you guys. I want to show you the front end compensation model. All of you have seen at least one of my presentations where I talk about the cash flow quadrants, and I talk about the left-hand side, which is the linear side. Well, let me take a step back for those of you maybe have only heard the presentation once. Robert Kiyosaki really walks us through what types of cash flow there are. There's linear cash flow and there's residual cash flow, right? And so tonight, what I want to do is cast a vision for you guys to what not only the linear compensation looks like, which is where you get started. And it's really important to understand the linear comp plan, because that's going to be your railroad. Those are going to be your railroad tracks to like where you're headed. This is how the company gets you moving. We all race for these certain titles, and that's what gives you that linear pay. All right. And I'm going to walk you guys through that tonight. But the second piece is the residual piece. And that's the piece that sometimes people have a little bit of a harder time wrapping their head around. And so I'm going to be drawing some pictures tonight to cast a vision for what the residual piece looks like on the back end. And I'm seeing the residual begin to come through with some of you who've really been at work, putting your enrollments in and seeing your team grow. You're seeing these cycles, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 cycles a week. Danielle, I know, is getting really close to crushing the 5-cycle bonus. I think you were at 4 or 5 cycles last week, right? And so that we're going to talk about tonight too. But I'm going to talk to you guys as if you're Tom or Ogina. Am I saying it right? Ogina. Is that how you say it? I'm always sabotaging it. Ogina, right? Did I say it right that time?
Yes.
Okay. Ogina. Okay. So I'm going to talk to you guys like you're Tom or you're Ogina because they're brand spanking new. And if you and Chino had an emergency, oh no, he's one of our new teammates, but we're recording, so we'll get it to him. All right. And what will be really helpful for you guys is go ahead and take out a sheet of paper. I see some of you already have your paper out because we are going to roll up sleeves and we're going to talk money. Who wants to max out their first business center? Raise your hand. Who knows what maxing out your first business center is? How much it is? Yeah, go ahead, Blady. What is it?
250 cycles, 12,
Yeah.
1,300, 500, something like that.
A little over $700,000 a year, okay? Our top leaders are on their 3rd business center, Herb and Patty Cepeda. They make about $250K a month, okay? Our compensation model is brilliant. The 2 men I had speaking to our men this weekend have already maxed out 1 center, and now they're working on their 2nd center. They maxed out their first centers and that first momentous moment of massive growth with our company, and now these guys are working to max out their 2nd center. And like Murray and Susan, you'll see these guys who've already maxed out a center, they're in a state of like not sleeping because we are so excited about the momentum that's going on. You saw their bank account? You did. When did you see their bank account?
I went to their house.
Oh,
Lady, how did you go to their house?
that's right. You went with me to the Cepedas. Yes. It's an amazing home. It's amazing. Okay. So where was I going with this? So these guys are already making millions, right? And they're losing sleep right now because they know what's going on right now. Like I was up at 3:30 this morning working. I don't have to. I am freaking lit up about what's happening. So let me share my screen and start doing some drawing, okay? Now, again, I'm going to do the complete basics, okay? This is not something you would do in depth with a prospect on the line, okay? This is going to overwhelm somebody who's brand spanking new to like wanting to learn about the business. But this is what I'm about to share with you guys is critical that you sit down with people after they're in and start creating the guardrails, right? The road track for them, okay? So I'm going to start with the front end of our compensation model, okay? So front end. What's the front end? It's linear, okay? This is what I call the left side of the quadrant. I lovingly call it the left side of the quadrant. Guys, I lived here my first year. Doesn't matter. Like I made just about 45 grand my first year in passive, not passive income. This is work. This was enrollment bonuses, okay? This was putting people in the hopper to make my money, okay? In a minute, and well, actually probably about 15 minutes, we're going to talk about the back end of the compensation plan. So on the front end of the compensation plan, we have a couple of titles that you're going to race to, okay? And these acronyms may, look familiar for some of you guys, okay? All right. These are your guardrails. And all of us start up at the very top as associates. When you come in, that's an A. When you come into the company before you've shared with anyone, you are an associate. As you move in rank from the top to the bottom, you're going to move in rank from associate to consultant to manager to director to executive. That's what the ACMDE is, okay? So I'm going to walk you guys through this. This is front-end compensation. This is thousands of dollars that could make a difference in your life today. New had a nurse practitioner on the line today who's been furloughed for 2 months. And I asked her what amount of money would make a difference in your life right now. And she said $1,000 a month would make a difference in my life right now. And I said, what if we could show you how to make that in the next 2 weeks? She was like, I would be open to that. Okay, guys, it's that simple of a conversation. Okay. Now, you start as an associate. Now, when you share with your first 2 people, okay, this is you, okay, and you share with your first 2 people, what do you become? Anybody want to put it in the chat box? You put one on your left and one on your right, or even just say it out loud.
Consultant.
That's right. You go consultant. This is where you unleash the profit sharing with the company. As I've said before, as long as you're an active participant in ordering product, a minimum of 100 business volume per month, you will always be active and you will accumulate BV, but you can't cash it out until you're consultant. Does that make sense? So once you start doing once you start contributing to the team, doing your fair share of putting in enrollments, now you can participate in the global growth of the company, okay? We lovingly call this U plus, where's my plus? That's a bad plus. 2, right? So you, one friend on your left and a friend on your right. Guys, this gets your people paid from the very beginning, okay? For those of you that are brand new, I want you to ingrain this in your head from the moment you start. And I'm actually, even with the woman on the phone with New today, New, you should have slapped me because I didn't even mention to her. I guess I did, because I said, what if we could get you $1,000 in the next 2 weeks? But I didn't actually say bring in 2 friends, I don't think. Showing people how to get their products paid for from the very beginning is critical, because what the studies show, when you show people a dime, you show them $1, they are a lifelong customer, right? Because they're actually getting some money back. And it's just been a proven business model, right? Okay. So first and foremost, we never get off the phone with anyone without saying, who are your ride or die people? Who needs to lose weight? Who needs better energy? Who would be interested in business with you? What I say is I'll just say, typically people come in with 2 other people. I came in with my husband and one of my girlfriends from pharmacy school. We can offset the cost of your products, and you can have some accountability buddies moving forward, right? Okay. So the simple question is, who do you know that would be, who do you know? Who do you know that could benefit from this? Now, what happens is once these 2 people that you've introduced, when you say to them, who do you know? And they go out, and guess what they do? They say, well, Nicole told me if I go find 2 people who started on a value pack like I did, I can get the majority of my products paid for, especially if I do them in the same calendar week. And I'm going to draw that out in just a second. Now, what happens when you move from U plus 2, you've shifted to U plus 2 and them plus 2, right? So you've simply showed them, your 2 people, how to get their products paid for, just like you just did. Now, I know we've got some high degrees here. We've got some really knowledgeable professionals. I'm here to tell you we overcomplicate this business model. And the pure essence of this business model is the number 2. When you bring someone in, share with 2 people. When you duplicate this out in your business downstream, it creates massive geometric progression. When you teach people how to share with 2 people, it creates the residual back end, okay? And we'll go through that at the end. But it also creates the linear front end. And I'm going to show you some numbers in a minute on what those numbers look like, okay? So let's go back to the consultant scenario where you've shared with 2 people. So the cool thing is, if you've shared with 2 people, and let's say you gave them each a value pack, okay? The company traditionally, the product introductory bonus for a value pack is $100, okay? That's the linear pay I was talking about in the beginning. The $100 is the value pack referral bonus, but the company rewards speed, okay? So if you can find 2 people in the same calendar week from midnight on Sunday to 11:59 the following Sunday night, or I guess midnight on Monday morning to 11:59 on Sunday night. If you can find 2 people in the same given week, the company is going to double your referral bonuses, okay? So that means instead of 100 for each value pack, you're going to get 200 for each value pack. Now, I want to take you back to News Friend today who was on the line, who said $1,000 a month could make a difference in her life. She's a nurse practitioner. She sees patients for a living. And I said, let us show you how we can help you find $1,000 and make a difference in people's lives. So now, as a consultant, you've made $200 for one referral bonus, $200 for a second referral bonus in the same given week. And if you do this, you share with your first 2 people within 30 days, the company gives you $150 Crystal Consultant bonus. So now you're at 550. You're at 550 for sharing with 2 people in the same given week and doing it in less than 30 days, okay? If you bought a value pack for $600, you just paid $50 to get started in your business and get yourself in better shape. Is this making sense? Okay, so this is the beginning of the comp model. This gets people engaged. I don't know about you, but even when I was working PRN pharmacy, I had to work a 12-hour shift on a Saturday to make $500 after tax. And quickly I picked up that if I could share with 2 people in any given week a value pack, I wouldn't have to go into the pharmacy and not see my kids on a Saturday, right? I very quickly started to figure out I can work a business on my terms and make the same money I could being gone from my family for 12 hours, but instead do it in the pockets of my time, okay? Now, this, I saw some stuff coming up in the chat box. Let's see. What did you guys say? Consultant manager. Did Crystal Consultant go back up to, oh, I'm sorry. It's 100. You guys are right. Thank you for correcting me. I did that on the call the other day. It's 500. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are right. You guys can speak up. You can take yourself off of mute when I'm saying something wrong. Okay. You just share with 2 people. You went consultant. You share right away. Right away. When you have someone roll, you say the best way to get started is to go find 2 people, right? Okay. Now, manager, you plus 2, and then you taught them how to do the same thing. Guess what happens when you create consultants with Isagenix? Isagenix congratulates you for creating consultants by giving you, again, some front-end compensation money, okay? They give you $100 for each consultant that you create. So when you go Crystal Manager, you've created consultant number 1, and you've created consultant, you've created consultant number 2, right? And when you create consultant number 1 and you create consultant number 2, now think about this for a second, and you do it in less than 60 days. These are the guardrails that I want you guys to think about that the company gives you. You do that in less than 60 days, the company gives you an additional $250 bonus for going Crystal Manager. Okay, this is Crystal Manager. So this gives you, so for you guys who just enrolled, right? This is really good for you to look at your calendar and say, okay, if I want to set some guardrails and I want to really run for this, the company's giving me guardrails on the direction and the timing. So the goal is going to be to get to consultant in the first 30 days. Find my 2 people. If I want to maximize the comp plan, I really want to do them both in the same day, right? Hey, Lacey, I see you, girlfriend. You've been blowing up my Isopulse. I'm so excited for you. You're crushing this business and you're so new. Okay.
Hey, Lace.
Okay, there it is. Thank you. Sorry, just got on.
Oh, you're fine. Lacey's crushing the model of who do you know? Who do you know, right? So you have 60 days, you have 30 days to get to consultant, maximize the comp plan by sharing with 2 people in the same week, right? I'm sorry, you have 30 days. And then you have 60 days to get to Crystal Manager and get the additional $250 bonus. So here's the cool thing. You've already made $500 for going Crystal Consultant in 30 days with 2 value packs. You just created 2 consultants. So now you're at $500, $600, $700, okay? And then you've gotten your Crystal Manager bonus. So that's $700, $800, $900, $50. So now you're at, so now you've just netted $950 with Isogenics by following the you plus 2, them plus 2. Or you could say you share, they share. We call it you share, they share, right? That simple. Many of you, this is where you need to focus. This is where you're starting, right? And that's the big first step. All right. Now, so what is director? What do you think director is? So director is simply continued duplication. So it's you plus 2, and then it's them plus 2, but you're going to do it 3 times. Okay. So what does that mean? So 2 times 3 is 6. So you plus 2, them plus 2 is you've created 2 consultants. You plus 2, them plus 2 is you've created a total of 6 consultants in your business, okay? And I'm going to draw a bigger picture of this in just a little bit, okay? Now, if you do that in 90 days, you do that in 90 days, the company gives you a $750 bonus, okay, for going Crystal Director. And what did we say? What's the bonus for creating a consultant? You guys remember?
$100.
That's right. So if you've already created 2 consultants to go manager, you're creating 4 more to go director to create 3 sets of the 2, right? So you've created $400 more dollars for consultants.
Melissa, I think the crystal consulting is $50, no?
I'm sorry?
The crystal consultant is $50, not $100.
It's 100.
Is it? I'll send you the image of what I see on my back office.
Oh, have they brought it
through
back
text?
down to 100? I am down to 50.
To 50? That's what
No,
I'm saying.
I think a consultant is 50 and a crystal consultant is 100.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So when you do it within the 30 days, you become Crystal Consultant, which is 100. However, if you don't do it within the allotted time frame, you get only 50.
Got it. Yep. Yep. Okay. So then, but send me your screenshot, Noom. So then with Crystal Director, you've made $750. if you do it in 90 days. Okay, these are your guardrails. You've created 4 more consultants. You get $100 for each consultant, right? Let's see. I see that you're texting me now. You're sending me the image. So just in pushing to director in under 90 days, you've made a net $1,150, right? So you made $500 total to go consultant. You made $950 to go manager, crystal manager, and you made $1,150 to go director. Okay, is that making sense to you guys? Let's add. It's been a while since I've done this math. Let's add this all up. So 500 plus 950 plus 1150. So that's $2,600 to get total to get to director. Okay. So $2,600. This does not include residual. This is what excites me. This does not even include the product introductory bonuses for any of the packs except for the first 2 that I pointed out to you guys, right? I'm not even taking into consideration the product introductory bonuses and the double product introductory bonuses. This is where I made thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars my first year. It was not the back end. It was not the retirement money. I had to build the infrastructure of my team first, okay? And so I hope you guys are picking this up. All right, the last cherry on top before we get into the back end of the comp model is executive. So executive is simply you plus 2, them plus 2, and you're doing that 5 times. You plus 2, them plus 2, 5 times. You're going manager 5 times, okay? Creating a total of 10 consultants. So I would just say you plus 2, them plus 2, 5 times. What happens after this? You can ask Jennifer. We just continue to run and continue to create consultants over and over and over again, okay? I want to cast a vision for you with what happens with executive. So once you hit executive, you've already created 6 consultants. So you're creating 4 more consultants, right? So that's an additional $400 in consultant pay. The company gives you an additional $1,000 for rank advancing to executive. So you just made an additional $1,400 to go executive, okay? Now this is the sweet spot of being an executive, guys. I'm gonna put it down here. For every month that you hold executive status, okay? Every month that you hold executive status, the company gives you an additional $750 for staying exec. They just give it to you. Like this is just a bonus every single month. And every 3rd month that you hold your exec status, they give you $1,000 instead of $750 for compensating you for staying a leader, continuing to duplicate, for continuing to show people what is possible, okay? So by simply creating consultants, you get an additional $1,000 deposited into your Isogenics bank account on top of everything else. They did not do this when I was building to exec. They only started doing this like 3 months ago. This is like free money. What's another incredible perk to being an exec? And this will make sense when I get into the back end of the comp model. I get 10%. I get 10% pay of all my personally enrolled cycles on my team. So what that means, that's really kind of cool, is that it really, like, as if I didn't already want you guys to succeed. I'm actually getting 10% profit. The company's giving me additionally on the team members of mine that are also making money. So they're basically giving me money for helping my team make money, okay? So think about it with Amanda Ham. Amanda Ham has Andrea and I both on her team, right? And let's say we each hit 40 cycles for a week, okay? Then Amanda's got 80 cycles that she gets paid match on at 10%. So take everything else away and just think about that. Just Andrea and I alone, she gets an extra 8 cycles a week in pay just for maintaining her exec status. What is that? And that's just the 2 of us. Think about how many people are in her organization. So just for Andrea and I, she gets an additional $432 a week in her paycheck because her downline that she personally enrolled is also successful, right? So we want to drive your cycles up because it rewards you and it rewards us. We want you to be successful. I want you guys to be hungry for this. I want you to want the extra $750 every single month. I want you to want the 10% that your downline is crushing. I want you to want your downline to be exploding because there is nothing more exciting. If one of you guys blows past me and maxes out your business center, sweet. At least I get 10% of that maxed out business center. Blady just told you guys 10% of a maxed out business center. That's 25 cycles in my pocket because you're a millionaire. I'll take it, right? So I hope that excites the heck out of you guys. There is so much money on the table just in racing to exec. The thing I did not even underscore or highlight here along the way are the product introductory bonuses. Danielle will be the first to tell you that she thought from the very beginning you had to put 2 in every week. Like, what she didn't realize is I told her that's the way to max the comp model. Like, if you're going to put 1 in, try to put another one in that week, because if you get a $50 referral bonus for a premium pack, you don't want just $50. You need to go enroll someone else so that becomes $100 because you want to double that pay, right? So the money that I'm sharing with you guys here, that $45,000 I made my first year, a lot of it was product introductory bonuses. I was notorious for doing 2 value packs a week in the hopper. 2 value packs a week, that's $400 a week just in referral bonuses. And for those of you who are brand spanking new, the company pays you out your introductory bonus the next day if it's a value pack or a premium pack. Like, I couldn't elaborate to news prospects any clearer that, like, we could help you and have money in your bank account tomorrow, right? If you're looking to change people's lives physically with these products today, right? Okay. I hope that excites the heck out of you guys. Yes, Danielle, go ahead.
I just have one question. So that's only for the $400 pack and then the $600 pack, not for that lower pack.
That's right. Great
Okay.
question. So the higher end packs, the company actually will give you the referral bonus the next day. And I got asked a great question about that today.
Yeah.
Because she's put in a couple value packs and a couple premium packs. And what happens is when you put in a value pack, the referral bonus is $100, right? When you put in a premium pack, the referral bonus is $50. Those 2 packs, they'll pay you the next day for that referral bonus.
Right. No, I've
Nothing
seen that.
lower.
I'm asking for Lacey because so we're still waiting on her ISA wallet.
Her card.
Yeah.
It takes a couple of weeks to get processed and come to you.
So that's why when she gets it, she'll already have that
money
loaded in there. So like, that's why it's so important to like kind of sell in that space, like the premium pack and the value pack.
Dead on. There are a million reasons that I lead with the premium and the value pack, and those are 2 of them. Because you can get paid tomorrow. To me personally, and most importantly, I think people get the best product experience when they go in with the value pack or the premium pack, because you have all the support products. And especially if you're going to be in it for the business, it gives you broad exposure. Okay. So
I have a question. I just want to make sure the only difference between the value pack and the premium pack, the vitamins.
Yes. Well, anybody else want to pipe up? There used to be like 2 free enrollment coupons in the value pack too, to introduce the products to your first 2 people.
Right. But now everything is free for customers.
Yeah.
So
There used to be an event coupon too with $75 off. I don't know if that's still a part of the value pack.
I think the greens come in the higher pack too.
That
so
comes in the
vitamins
too.
Yeah. Because I looked and I couldn't see difference other than the vitamins, but I wasn't sure if I was missing something because the premium pack, you get an awful lot in there.
Yeah, the premium pack is definitely the top seller. I think that, but you're getting the isogenesis with the value pack, which is a huge price point, and you're getting that whole profile of supplements. If anybody knows in the chat box what else comes in the value pack that differentiates it from the premium pack, it may be the event coupon. I know you used to get a $75 coupon for your first corporate event. Kristen says she has it in her notes, so she'll let us know. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so here's the thing. When you first get started, especially for you guys that are brand new, posturing is everything, but also like already knowing that you have locked arms with a business that's going places, that's growing. One of the best things you can do with posture is let people know, look, like I am going to the top. I am growing a major business, and I'm looking for people to lock arms with me and grab, some real estate and grow this business with me. And that's and so what I want to do next is I want to cast a vision to you guys what residual looks like. Because this is where, if I can get through to you guys on this, you're going to drool, and then you're not going to be able to sleep tonight when you lay down, because your mind is going to be racing about who do I know? How can we move like a freight train to make this happen? Because the comp model is the same for everybody. All right. Did you guys get all this? My confusing mess? I'm going to clean it up, and I'm going to start scratching all over this board and show you guys the path to freedom. But I think that what I just drew out, I want you guys to understand that in order to create a network of mass consumption that has that momentum and has that reorder rate that make the money while you sleep business model only happens if you take action and the people you bring in lock arms and take action with you, along with the team you're a part of. And that's the piece I want to draw a picture of for you guys. This is the long term. So that was the front end, okay? I want every single one of you on the line today, before I move forward, to think about putting pen on paper. I'm going to give you a second. And I want you to think about, what is your executive deadline, okay? I want you to hold yourself accountable, because all the magic starts to happen when you hit exec and you hold exec. That's where all the magic happens. We're not making 6 figures till we get to exec and we hold it, okay? So I'm going to pause for a second. The crystal executive deadline for anybody, when you flip the switch, is 120 days. So if you need to look at the look at the calendar for a second, I would give yourself a week or 2 buffer from your actual deadline. For the go-getters, try to crush it. I crushed it a month early, because if you wanted to be recognized as an executive at the global celebration, you had to hit it like a month in advance. So the super competitiveness in me made that happen. Okay. The pathway to freedom. Every single one of you has 2 teams. All of us do. It's a binary compensation model. Now that I have learned over the past 5 years, and I've studied other comp models, and I've read about how other compensation models are designed with other network marketing companies, You guys, we are so lucky. We are so lucky. And now that I'm coaching other network marketers in other companies and they're talking about their business model, I'm like, oh my God, we are so fortunate. The owners of our company got this model right. Every single one of us has a right leg and a left leg. That's it. Remember how I said in the beginning, we overcomplicate this? But at the end of the day, we grow this business in twos. We grow this business in twos. You find two people, right? You go consultant and you teach your people how to do what you just did, right? And you continue. So if you're going to go executive, what does that look like? To go executive, you have 5 consultants on each side. So that means this might be your first one, and then you enroll your second one, and then you enroll your third one, then you enroll your fourth one, and then you enroll your 5th one, right? And you do the same down this leg, right? You're going to enroll your second one, or your third one, 4th, and your 5th, okay? And when you do that, and each one of those brings in their 2, right? We're playing in twos, okay? We're playing in twos. When all of them bring in 2, you rank advanced to that sweet spot of executive where you have all those ridiculous benefits, right? Okay. What else happens? Well, do you guys remember what I said? That the only cost of doing business with Isagenix is that you commit to consuming 100 business volume per month, right? So if you brought in 10 people, okay, and they're all ordering 100 BV per month, that's 1,000 BV per month, right? And if those 10 people all bring in 2 people, right? I want you guys to start thinking about the math on the volume that starts to run through the business center. You start to duplicate and grow geometric progression. But here, okay, so here's where it gets really fun. Okay, so let's say, whose face do I see? Here's Dean. Let's say this is Maeva right here, okay? So let's say Maeva comes in and she's working her way to executive. Here is where the comp model is brilliant. So Maeva gets started and she's building her people, but do you remember what I said? Maeva's on a team, right? So that means there's someone in her upline, right? There's actually a lot of people in her upline. Everybody, this guy has a left leg and a right leg. This guy has a right leg and a left leg. Everybody has a right leg and a left leg. So this Dr. Guthrie, right? So Dr. Guthrie's above you somewhere, right, Maeva? Dr. Guthrie all of a sudden is in like gangbusters mode because all of his doctor friends are furloughed and they need another income. So he starts bringing in a couple of physicians. He brings in a chiropractor, and this chiropractor opens up products in their practice. And so he starts bringing in more patients who are using the products. But then this other doctor that he brought in, his wife got started on the products and she lost so much weight, she couldn't believe it. And she had the gift of gab. She wasn't even interested in the business, but she couldn't shut up about it. And she was just bringing people in, and Maeva doesn't even know about it. And this girl that she introduced it to happened to introduce it to a friend in Asia who happened to introduce it to someone who's affiliated with someone who was a professional network marketer who all of a sudden decided to bring in 100,000 new South Korean professional network. I'm just doing a little vision casting for you guys, right? And all this volume is running through Maeva's business center. All of it. All of it. Right? Okay. Maeva has a right leg And Maeva has a left leg. See, the thing is, you never know who in your downline is going to be your rock star. You could find your Lacey today, or you could find your Jennifer Bartram 4 years after you start. But the reality is, the only way you fail in this business is to give up. That's the only way you fail. Because see, Maeva has been here for 10 years. Is that right?
11.
Y'all, are you hearing this? The company pays her 6%. 6% of all of this. All of this. All of this. Not just what she did. Not just what her downline did. But anything on that team leg that gets put in, she gets. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Like, it is amazing. Amazing. And some people will say, oh, well, I wasn't put on a good leg, or, nobody's building with me. Create the momentum. Guys, I was on an inside leg. There's a reason Amanda Ham is now the 300th millionaire in the company. She found a Melissa Hinault who blew up her minor leg. I'm not bitching or complaining about it. I'm now creating my own momentum, right? I'm out looking for my Melissa Hinaults that are driven, right? I'm looking for people who see what I see. I'm looking for people who look at this and know the freedom behind it, right? Now, you all have a team leg. This right leg is, in this case, the team leg. See, Maeva is up here, and she has a whole force of people she's locked arms with above and below that are recruiting. And this is why I will disagree and argue this is a pyramid scheme till the day I die, because you get volume from the people you bring in, you get volume from the people that were brought in before you, right? There is no pyramid here, right? There's a shared leg. You can create that momentum. They can create that momentum. It's a group effort. But here's where I want you guys to get really excited. So I talked about this one chiropractor who started blowing up Maeva's leg, right? And I talked about this one physician whose wife had a really great experience that ended up down the chain enrolling people in a whole nother market. That's really exciting. But what if, and this I'm just going to cast a vision for you guys. I can get the eraser to work here. Can we erase all of this? Maybe. What if we made it really simple and we all just think about your own business and how you are tied to people on your team? And what if you and your team, many of you are connected here on the line, you all committed and said, I commit, I will find 10 people. I'm going to find 10 people and I'm going to go executive by my deadline, right? What if you did that and you found your 10 people, and the 10 people you found committed to the exact same thing, okay? So that's 3, 4, 5. And again, I'm not even drawing your upline and who's committing to throwing volume into your business center or your sideline. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is you, little old you right here. What if you committed? What if every single one of us on the line committed? I'm going to find 10 coaches. I'm going to find 10 business partners, okay? And when you do that, you've got 10 people in your organization, right? Now, When you teach those 10 people who come in, you say, look, I made a pact. This is how we grow the business. I brought in 10 who want to grow a business. I need you to go do the exact same thing. So they go find 10 people. Now you have 100 people in your organization, 100 people. Now those 100 people, you say, all right, now we can all go find our customers. We've been talking business. We've recruited for financial freedom. Now let's all commit to finding 10 product users, right? Now you're at 1,000 people in your organization ordering 100 BV per month, which equates to 100,000 BV per month. Now, I want to do this. I want to show you guys these numbers because I want you to think like a business owner. I think so many of us, including myself, didn't really think about these numbers, what they meant, what they translated into, how to get there, until probably, I was making over $100,000 a year before I understood the comp model, okay? I simply want you guys to focus on who are 10 people I can lock arms with. And if we all commit to our 10 and we all go find 10, I want you guys to visualize that massive shift in momentum because everyone's loading the system. If everybody says, okay, I'm putting in my 10. So this one puts in their 10, right? And you guys can kind of envision what this will start to look like, but that's just one, but they put in their 10, right? And this one starts putting in their 10. So these are your people that you find, right? What happens is that everybody starts to see in their back office all this volume coming through. New, I can tell you right now, Kristen's like, woo-wee, I sure am glad you brought New in. She's seeing her isopulse blow up, right? Right? Am I right? It's a group effort. So now Kristen's all fired up and she's putting enrollments in. And what happens is it's shared volume that everybody sees. And so my point is, and I'll just close on this from a residual standpoint, the more Herculean effort everyone makes at the same time, the more ridiculous momentum you're going to see in your back office, that explosion of growth and that 6% profit share. And so this, my friends, what I'm showing you right now, this becomes geometric progression as people start to rank advanced to consultant and they start to share. It becomes a freight train that you can't slow down if done the right way. And what happens is you go to bed on a Sunday night and you can check, there's a report that you can run that shows you how much volume is shipping out this week. This is mass network consumption. This is where, maybe Kristen's enrolled 20 people. I'm just throwing random numbers out there and giving an example. Maybe she's enrolled 20 people, but maybe she sees 110 in her business center. And she's reaping the benefits of 110 people's volume. That's leverage. That's the right-hand side of the quadrant. That's a lot of people doing a little bit of work together to make massive impact and big paychecks. But it's done together. Remember, those of you who are on the call with the guys the other day, I said, this is your dreams are my dreams. Your success is my success, right? So it's all about, when you check, when I go back to saying, when you check that your back office on a Sunday night and you see that regardless of if you show up or do anything this week, that volume is moving, it is shipping, and you are getting 6% profit, that is the sleep at night. All these little bubble heads are consumption of volume running through your business center like a freight train every single week. And the company says, we're going to give you 6% of our sales on every bit of volume that runs through that center. So what I want to land on, I want you guys to visualize, is you are in it together. You have a group of people that you are building this with. And the more excited and momentous and Herculean you get at throwing enrollments into the system, the quicker you're going to see the numbers rise. And the quicker you're going to see the residual on the back end. Okay? Now, it is 9:30. I've given you guys an earful. What questions do you guys have?
I have a comment.
Yeah.
I love your scenario, but that's not my reality. I was on the inside leg like you, and the person who brought me in is within the first year, she was no longer active with Isogenics. So I've been on an island by myself. And your story, your testimony was very encouraging because you were in the same position, and look at you now. So
that's right.
I am going to hold you in front of me differently as my carrot, because I've been channeling you recently anyway, because I'm the type of person, I can show you better than I can tell you. I don't do a lot of talking. I just want to do it.
That's right.
And you've been helping with that. And whether you know it or not, now in the last 15 minutes, I feel more empowered because I felt a little discouraged, but not to the point where I wanted to stop. No way. Because I really was going for Crystal director, and Dominique got one person in on Friday, and then the someone else wants to enroll, but they said they have to do it in 2 weeks, and so on and so forth. So just hearing you say that, if I didn't hear anything else tonight, it was worth hearing that. Aww. Because it shifted something, and it made my flame a little higher tonight.
Oh, good. Girl, you're hovering over the flame. You are. Yes. Well, and I guess maybe that's part of why I just won't listen to the sob stories about positioning with the team, because you can't tell me a scenario I haven't been in, right? And so I think that at the end of the day, the comp model is the same for everyone. Everyone has to build out 2 legs. Some people were ridiculously blessed to be placed in a position where there was a ton of volume run out from under them before they knew which way was up. And great for them. Great. Amanda Ham was on a focus leg. Okay. There's a reason Amanda Ham hit millionaire before her sponsor did, right? She went after it. She was super tenacious. She created her own momentum. I created my own momentum, right? You can create your own momentum. And that's why the binary compensation plan is so beautiful. There's just 2 teams, right? You can create the momentum. You can find your Maevas. You don't have to look for a handout from your upline, right? Some of you are blessed that your upline is throwing you a bone and you're getting volume. Some of you are salivating on a massive sack of volume and you can't wait to cash it out, right? But that's not the scenario for most, right? So I'm glad that I could empower you. I think that the strongest leaders in our organization actually are the ones who dig deep and they coach and they nurture and they create empowered leaders within their team. I think you'll find that the people who kind of are freeloading and riding on the volume of a team, ultimately, many of them fizzle out because they're not leading. They just rode a wave for a while, and their income kind of starts to unravel because they never led a team to begin with, right? So Carol Elizabeth is on an inside leg. She's a millionaire with the company. She built every single bit of her business, and it is solid, and it's not going anywhere because she built it herself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Awesome. Any other questions? Yes, Danielle, go ahead.
So I just want to say one thing, I guess. So when you allude to like building the business in a solid manner, that's why it's more important to coach to them building as opposed to us.
Yes. Okay. So that's a great question. I get this sometimes. You're close to a rank advancement. Maybe you have one consultant and you have another person who's enrolled one person, but not another. And you like want to hit Crystal Manager so bad. And you have this enrollment and you're like, oh, do I give it to my friend so she can go consultant so I can rank advance to manager? I'm gonna tell you guys, 9 times out of 10, that is not the route you want to go. Dr. Melva will tell you that. Many of us have made that mistake. Here's the thing, 2 things. Number 1, it only works short term and it unravels because that person didn't learn the leadership skill. They're not committed to it. And it'll unravel within 30 days probably anyway. Secondly, remember what I said? What was one of the perks to executive? The 10% match.
And that consistency for them to remain.
So if you just follow me on this for a minute. If you enroll, so Dawn Turner, a lot of you guys think I enrolled Dawn Turner. I actually didn't. And I didn't tuck her. I actually wanted to enroll her, but she just thought I was crazy and enrolled with someone else. One of my employees from GSK. She didn't want to be enrolled by me at the time. Now we're best of friends. And we've always been good friends. However, she really ran with the business ultimately. And she's got great cycles. She's got a good passive income with the company. And as an executive with Isagenix, I get no percentage of that whatsoever because I didn't personally enroll her. So if, let's say you find someone and you never, ever, ever, ever know whether people are going to run with this business or not. They may say without a shadow of a doubt, they have no interest in the business whatsoever. You put them on the products and it changes their life. And maybe they don't even like build a huge business, but they enroll someone who blows it out and then they get really engaged. All of a sudden you've got a superstar in your downline that you tucked to create a short-term consultant. And then what if long-term they're cycling 50 to 60 times a week? That's 5 to 6 match cycles a week. You're giving up thousands of dollars a year to have tucked someone for one bonus.
Can I say something?
Uh-huh.
I heard it stated once, Danielle, and I'll never forget this. You give away money or you give away products, but you never give away people.
Yep.
And if you have someone and you want to reward them, offer them $50 or offer them a canister or whatever for, but don't give away the person. And that has always stuck with me. For the same reasons Melissa just said.
No. That's good. I mean, like I almost did that tonight with my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
But first of all, I don't even feel like doing it because I feel like it's not fair,
right.
And like, I don't want to get somewhere without doing it like the right way.
Right.
So I was like, no, I'm just going to do that. Like, who
now,
knows?
I'll tell you where you do tuck potentially. It's a different strategy when you're all the way up at like one consultant from executive. There's a lot of perks to being executive, right? And maybe you're close to your Crystal executive deadline. We typically would coach you. That would be a spouse consultant, right? So like my husband, I enrolled him in the first position on my focus leg. He did a 30-day system and I did the value pack, right? So he got a position on my team and then he just stayed there as a personal enrollment. But when I was one consultant away from Crystal Executive, we actually put my mom and his admin under him and made him consultant. That bumped me up to executive. It's an account we control and money that goes into my account, right? So now we keep him active as a consultant year round. He makes like 20 or 30 grand a year in that spot now.
Take that, right?
Did you put any more people under him after that?
Yeah, that's why he makes 20 to 30 grand. That's a funny story. So that's where you need to be really careful in coaching your people and how you enroll. My best friend, Sadie Cox, is one of the very first people I ever enrolled. And if you guys will know, going back to your first enrollments, you don't know anything about positioning in the computer or whatever. I'd enrolled my husband, and then Sadie said she wanted to get started. And to this day, on screen, it makes no sense. Like, the only person who can actually explain it is Renee. She gets what happened. You can't even see it on screen. Somehow, Sadie got enrolled on Jake's inside leg instead of my outside leg. And none of us knew what happened for like 9 months until Dr. Melva. So I have a ton of executives in that progeny. We've got Tammy Fry, there's Dr. Melva, there's Christine Manukin, there's Jennifer Bartram. Like, that entire team came from Sadie Cox, right? And about 9 months into building, Melva was like, I'm not seeing this in my isopulse. You guys are saying I'm on this team, but I'm not seeing anything. We all thought she was crazy. Finally, Renee got this report that to this day, I don't understand how she looked at it, how she's been able to figure it out. Because when you look at my back office, it tells me where she's positioned on my team, on my focus leg, not Jake's. You know how, and I think back, and this is like going to go over a lot of y'all's heads, but sometimes you can enroll someone, personally enroll them, but then place them somewhere else. Like, I think that just must have been what I did. Like, just trigger happy on the phone with her, putting in my first enrollment. Melva figured it out. Melva figured it out. So I have my biggest team in Isogenics is on Jake's inside leg. So there you go, Maeva. Like, talk about, like, you know, people being positioned somewhere unfairly. You know, those girls have not made any excuses. You know, Christine out there crushing it. Jennifer out there crushing it. Tammy Fry. These girls are crushing it, right? And they're on Jake's inside leg.
Okay.
So, great question, Kristen. Yes, there are people underneath Jake. Any other questions? But I'll land on this because we have some new people. Positioning when you first get started is really important. Obviously, you're like, learn from my mistakes. Before you put your orders in, reach out to your upline and ask them, because the company only gives you 48 hours to fix a mess. From then on, it is in concrete. And so if you guys will think about that team leg I drew for you and all those little bobbleheads being loaded, you want to create momentum. And so luckily for me, that team that Melva and Christine created, it was massive momentum within them, and they all felt that momentum and like growth together. But you want to load a leg with a lot of teammates first, so that they feel that volume and they feel like they're part of a team and that everybody's contributing, right? There's a method to that. Yes, Maeva.
I was gonna say, I brought someone in about 2 weeks ago, excuse me, and we put the person under her. She wanted to flip 2 people, and we called corporate, but because it was done, like, we caught it within a day or like right after it happened, they said it wasn't a problem. And what they said on the phone, and I didn't notice, and apparently you may not know it either, but what they said was, in the first, I guess, 48 hours is no big deal at all. They can switch. Right. But there is a period after that you can still switch, but you have to pay for it. And I didn't know you could pay for it. But they said it can be costly. So I guess it depends on how long you wait or something. Like, you can pay to change positions. And I had never heard that, but they said that about a week ago.
Interesting. Well,
it
there
is.
You go. I bet they wouldn't let me undo that mess now. I could try. I could call them and ask.
Or they'll charge you $10,000 to change it. Yeah, because I didn't ask them. It didn't impact me, so I didn't ask.
Yeah.
But I thought that was just a new one for me.
Awesome. All right. Well, so guys, on that note, we have an opportunity overview tomorrow, okay, with Dr. O'Rear. She is making her debut. And obviously, I know her personally and professionally. She's an incredible presenter. I think it's going to be a very dynamic presentation. I challenge every single one of you between right now and tomorrow at 8 p.m. I want you to invite at least 10 people to come take a look. If you need help with verbiage, you want some ideas on how to reach out, let me know. If you go to the team Facebook page, I gave you some examples. I gave you an example this past week. It's as simple as, hey, I don't know about you, but during these uncertain times, I'm looking and partnering with the company, planning, really planning out my plan B. However you want to word it. I'm leveraging my XYZ, my skills in people, my skills as a clinician, my skills in sales, however you want to coin it. If I sent you the link, would you take a look? And for those of you that are really new, even consider taking the position of, don't think about this as sales. Think about this as asking for professional feedback. I've gotten really far with that on LinkedIn, asking people, hey, this is something I'm a part of. I really respect your thoughts. I would love for you to jump on tomorrow and let me know your perspective, what you think about this. It's a great passive way to get your network on the line to get their feedback, okay? And engage in the conversation. I'm so proud of this team. Thank you guys for showing up. I know talking about money, comp, and numbers at like 10 o'clock at night is not easy, but it's going to keep me up tonight because I'm so excited. Y'all, we are maxing out this business center. We're going to max it out. And in order to max it out, that means we need about 10 to 12 more executives on this team. And with those 10 to 12 executives, we need some 3 and 4 stars, which means we need about 5, 6 of you making 6 figures in the next 2 years. Who's up for that challenge? Yes. Yes. All right, guys. And then we'll max out your centers. Okay. All right, guys. Have a good evening.